RogueCon 23. That's right. It is here. It's not back. It's here. It's the first one. Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It is all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues, January 20th through the 22nd of 2023. Now, if you want to go, you got to get tickets, and tickets are on sale at RogueCon23.com. That's RogueCon, RogueCon 23.com. Be there. I'm going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Let's go.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Well, hello, bloodies.
Oh, who's
we
that?
We are back.
Oh, hi.
I was like, I say hey, y'all, every single time.
Yeah,
so
you do.
I am saying hello.
Maybe they like
bloody
hey,
bitches.
Y'all.
Yeah.
Maybe
hey,
they
y'all.
Oh, there we go. This is April?
Yeah. And that's Caroline over there.
Nice to meet you.
And it's Thursday, and we have red microphones today. So if you watch us on YouTube, we change colors of our microphones every single time.
Do we?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah, we do.
Sometimes I like a different color. Anyway, whatever. Boring.
Caroline, are you pregnant?
Excuse me?
Are you pregnant?
No.
You've had 7 days.
I didn't actually poke a hole in the condom.
Or use a condom, or or didn't get that far, right?
Did I? No. I'm not trying to be a hoe for show.
No.
For the first time ever.
Susan Smith?
For the first time ever. I got this belt. It says chastity on it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who that is, but I have it, so it's funny.
So, if y'all don't already know, which I've got a lot of messages, live show is officially sold out, and it was actually less than 24 hours.
We thought maybe 5 people would sign up, but apparently
a little bit, like 7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like at least 7, like 5 to 10.
Yeah.
For sure. We could for sure convince like your mom and like my friends. But
the truth is, your friends and my mom and our friends, they didn't even get a chance.
They sure didn't.
Sorry, y'all, too slow on the trigger. But good news is we are looking at dates for future shows. So hold your breath. Hold your breath. Yeah, hold it. Hold your breath until we announce a new show, because it will be at a bigger venue and we won't have to cap it off. I mean, we will have to cap it off, but there'll be a lot more space.
Yeah, I mean, we were just real shocked about the fame that we've, attributed.
Yeah, real Waco famous.
Who are we?
Joanna Gaines who?
Joanna Gaines, scoot over. Girl, bye. You had your time. Nobody even knows who. Nobody knows you anymore. Get on out. Well, on a whole nother note, by this time next week, we will know. Oh, by the time you listen to this, we will know the outcome of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial.
And so is there going to be a guilty or innocent?
No, it's not guilty or innocent. It's if somebody has to pay somebody.
Okay.
But
there's a counter.
What's that?
Suit.
Yes. So Johnny sued her for $50 million. She countersued for $100. So most likely, based on what just happened on this last day, there's it's so confusing because anyways, it should be that he will get. I don't think he wants the money. He just wants his name cleared.
Yeah.
But I don't think he will have to. Anyways, he doesn't necessarily want money. He wants his name cleared. He might want money. I don't think he really does, but she most likely won't get any money.
Okay.
I mean,
well,
when you spin a web of lies, April, you're eventually going to get caught up in that web.
I just think he
just
needs
like
to get
your spider friend. Jerry.
He needs to get Captain Jack Sparrow back. Like, that would be a win. That's the only thing I'm worried about. I know.
But
maybe
I mean, do you
they'll
want
change.
a Pirate 6?
Yes.
Oh, I don't even know what to say anymore. It's been really good. Yeah, you said you watched today and you're real bored, but you have to be committed.
Yeah,
you have to be committed. And I have a sign that I have to hold up. So if somebody comes to my office, I have a sign that says "in court" and I have to hold it up.
Listening to Amber was a little bit better. I guess I missed the good parts when like he was testifying and she was testifying more. I heard the guy that was at the Trailer City Lake House. What was it called?
Hicksville. Literally, I'm in court. I'm not even kidding.
And then I listened to the psychologist or
Dr. Curry. Please, the beautiful one.
No, he wasn't beautiful at all.
Oh, it was a guy, Dr. Siegel.
Yeah.
The goofy looking one who did the weird mouth stuff.
Yeah. I thought he was like clicking his.
He would like meth mouth or something. Or his teeth were going to fall out. I don't know.
Yeah, he's clicking his dentures.
He's like, do I have to answer the question? Everybody is obsessed with Dr. Curry and her muffins. And if you didn't watch that part, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you do, then you are agreeing right now. And you're like, yes. And there's this whole big thing about muffins, and everybody loves Dr. Curry. All of Johnny's witnesses so they each had their separate experts, but Johnny's experts were just more like, they were just on a whole nother level than Amber's. And I don't know if it's the attorneys who do that or if it's the clients who do that, but they just were more prepared. I think because they didn't have to really like make anything up or lie about stuff. And I feel like hers kind of did. Like, they were trying to say she suffered from PTSD and that she didn't have any like borderline personality, any like personality issues, and stuff about the photos that she submitted that they weren't edited when they really were. And like, so these experts had to like make up really what, it was like harder probably for them to tell the truth because they were testifying for that side
So do you think it's unfair because Johnny Depp is so popular that either way she would look like a bad person?
Well, she shouldn't have wrote that op-ed then. That's what she did.
Yeah, what is that?
It's an opinion piece, and she wrote this piece in the Washington Post in 2018.
And that's what started everything.
And that's what got the ball rolling, but she, yeah. And like basically what it is she referred to, like she said, he or him, clearly referring to Johnny Depp, not naming him, but that was what would be defaming him. And what she also...
kind of like we're doing Dirty Chad?
Oh, he's not famous, so you can... whatever.
Basically.
And she also retweeted the article with the title, because the title was like, Amber Heard is a victim of domestic violence or something like that. Survivor of domestic violence. She retweeted it, and her argument is, she just knew that it was her article. She didn't even know what the headline said. And that's part of him winning, is proving that she knew that she retweeted that out. Mm-hmm. Or something. Like, I think that's how it is explained.
So speaking of shitty court cases, I'm watching the last episode of Candy right now. And I forgot when you told the story about how you said Betty Gore's lawyer was like shit. And so now in the story, I was like, this lawyer didn't even try for Betty. Like,
okay, so if you're kind of new, the show on Hulu right now called Candy, and we did an earlier episode. I don't know what the theme. Yeah. Oh, it was maybe, I don't know what it was.
Killer women.
Women killer. Yeah. And we did it on Candy Montgomery, and now they have this series on Hulu that's Candy. Yeah. And I haven't finished it yet because I've been in court. But so I forgot about that she had a bad lawyer.
Yeah.
Until right now. You
didn't finish? I have like 15 minutes left, and it's pretty good. Jessica Biel is, I love her anyways, but she's killing it. And
Literally.
I think it's very fair. Like, it doesn't make her seem extra evil. I think it's really just reporting the facts, like not one-sided or another, where a lot of these movies, documentary or remakes, they'll do that. Mm-hmm. It seems like it's really just reporting. Basically, they read the same book you read.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a good story.
Yeah.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
So, are we on a new month?
Yeah. So, guilty and innocent.
Guilty or innocent, or guilty and innocent?
Oh.
Guilty or innocent.
Either or. No. We have to choose.
You know what?
We're going to give our opinion, but y'all have to give your opinion too.
So it's basically like these people have already been tried and convicted, either guilty or innocent.
Yeah.
And now we're going to come back and be like, were they really?
Yeah, because they're all questionable.
They're a little suspicious.
Who's the first one?
Okay, well, you know, who comes to the top of you people's mind when you're like, no, she was guilty, or no, he was guilty.
OJ.
Oh, yep. Who else? If the glove didn't fit, must have quit.
So Casey Anthony. Mm-hmm. And then Darlie Routier,
OJ,
Casey.
Any other ones that we can think of?
Local is Joe Bryan.
Okay, I don't know.
Which is the principal in Clifton that I think we'll talk about. Yeah.
Oh. Well, good news. The person that I'm doing today, we've named. Oh, guess you already know. Casey Anthony!
Casey! Can you first tell me why they call her Top Mom?
Okay, I thought it was Top, T-O-P, as like a joke. Like, she's obviously not Top Mom, but it's T-O-T. And that's what Nancy Grace calls her when I listen. I thought
why?
Because she's the mom of a tot. I don't know. What's a tot? A kid? She just dubbed her tot mom.
I know, but I didn't know what the logic was behind that.
A tot mom is a mom who neglects her kids instead of caring for them. Oh, she would rather party her life away. Such women don't have children intentionally and regularly have abortions. They consider their children more of an inconvenience.
I thought it was an acronym for something this whole time.
I mean, I just read that off of Urban Dictionary, so okay. I don't know.
All right, start the story.
Casey Anthony was born March 16th, 1986. She is 1 year younger than me. What a hoe. She was from...
Because you're not anymore.
No, I am in a committed one-date relationship with my chastity belt. Don't worry, it's fastened up tight.
I need to do something about my drink.
Yeah, you're making all the noise now. She's born in Warren, Ohio. She's one of two kids, and her parents are Cindy and George Anthony. She has an older brother named Lee. So apparently she was pretty smart from a young age, and at some point her and her family moved to Orlando, Florida. Yes, Florida.
Oh, you know what would make this story so good?
If when I was in Florida, I went to see her house.
Yeah, I forgot.
That would have been good.
That would have been so good.
All of our Orlando, Florida listeners, send us a pic from Casey Anthony's family home. So apparently her father worked in law enforcement and her mother worked as a home care nurse. And Casey had this weird pattern of lying. You know, her friends and family recognized this as she got into like her teenage years, but these would be like stupid little white lies. So it's very like Dirty Chad-esque. Oh. You know, like, did that was there something that spilled on the floor and you're the only person in the house right now and I'm not even no, nothing spilled on the floor. Like something that's obviously like, Did you just eat pizza and you have like sauce on your face? No, I didn't. I just have sauce on my face. Yeah. But like
lying just to lie.
Lying just to lie. I don't understand it. I never will. I believe it all the time. It's what it is. Then that turns into what's called gaslighting. Then it makes you think that you're crazy. So as she grew up, she would tell her parents everything. I mean, just I guess, normal. I don't know. She got into high school, and then that's when she started to like distance herself from her parents and from her family. And eventually she just cut everybody off.
Why?
Well, because that's just there. I don't know why. She didn't want to have to do anything with her family.
Okay.
But she's still living at home.
I was going to say, did she move out?
She's still living at home. So she became that person who always had to be in a relationship. She always had to have a boyfriend. So it sounds to me like you have a little bit of a fear of abandonment. I don't know. I don't know why. Or you just always, I don't know.
She's insecure.
Maybe. She never wanted to be alone. She always wanted to have like a partner. And her parents this is what's weird. They had no idea who she was friends with or who she hung out with, who she was dating. Like, what are her parents even doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know I don't have any kids, but I feel like I would at least know like who they're friends with.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever go to prom? Like, do you ever go to a party?
Yeah.
I'm just asking. I don't know.
Or your friends don't come over? Or...
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she just didn't have any friends. I don't know. So Casey made it impossible for them to be involved in her life. And she wouldn't tell them anything. And she would go party with friends, even though they don't even know she has any friends. So she would go out party. She'd stay out all night. She went through this like wild stage. And I mean, you know, we all go through this wild stage, but so she's in high school. She's getting ready to graduate. And her parents went through her graduation party. Oh, so nice of them. But the day before she graduates, her parents start asking her, like, what's going on with your graduation? Where is your graduation? What time is your graduation? Give me all the details.
The day before?
Shouldn't you know this? Well in advance?
Did you not?
I'm yelling because it's so... I'm like, do your parents... There's issues.
Are they... The day before graduation?
The day before.
Okay.
So they call up to the school because Casey still wouldn't tell them.
And school's out. School's closed.
They're like, oh, school's closed. So I guess we missed it. So they're informed that Casey was not going to be able to graduate because she's failing.
Oh.
Most of her classes. So her parents literally had no idea.
Well,
no idea.
I mean, did you not check Skyward?
Maybe they didn't have it. This is back whenever it was our age. We didn't have anything like that. So she let them plan this whole party, didn't say anything. Like, I guess they had it all planned, but then and then I guess they didn't do the party. So instead of trying to like finish high school, she just dropped out.
Oh gosh, your last year.
Dropped out.
And they let her.
Yeah, and she got a job. She started working at Universal Studios in the Hard Rock Cafe.
Was it a real job? Because I remember it going back and forth about her actually not having a job.
Right, I know.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. She likes to lie. Because has anybody ever lied to you about having a job and they really don't? And then you find them in a parking lot and then they're just sitting in their truck?
Did this bring back some PTSD for you or what?
I think I might have a little bit of PTSD. So after work, she would come home. She'd talk to her parents. She would talk about her coworkers. She would tell them how their day was. I mean, she just seemed like she was content, happy. Everything was good. Well, January 2005, she meets this guy, Jesse Grund.
Okay.
And this is not her boyfriend, and she fell in love. So it's basically like me and my date from the other night. We meet. We're boyfriend and girlfriend, and now we're in love.
Okay.
That's how fast it was. So she's living her best life.
Okay.
And she has her job. She has her new man, and things are going great. And later that year, she's 19, 2005. She gets pregnant. But she's actually not very excited. When she finds out she's pregnant, she tells her friend, and then she tells her friend that she wants to have the baby and give it up for adoption.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
And I mean, she wanted to keep living her life. She's 19. She's going to be 20 when she has the baby. And she doesn't want to have to worry about having a kid and whatever. So a few months go by. She's still living at home. And
her parents still
doesn't tell her parents.
Okay.
No, she doesn't. So she's still pregnant.
Wow, I would love this girl for a daughter.
Her parents like start to notice that she's gaining weight, but they at first they don't say anything, and then they like start saying something to her, and then they're like, they ask her if she's like, are you pregnant? And she's like, no, I'm a virgin.
She just can't say no. She's got to go all the way left and say no.
So I'm getting like Amber Heard vibes from her, just from like everybody else is lying, and I'm I don't know.
Let's see how many times you're going to talk about Amber Heard. I know.
See how every time I say Amber Heard, take a shot.
Lordy.
Go ahead. Take about 3, because I've already said it about 3 times. I think we should play that game. Okay. So Virgin Mary over here, it wasn't until she was 7 months pregnant that she finally told her parents. Like she was trying to wear, like she was real petite, and she was trying to like wear baggy clothes, like oversized clothes, to try to hide it. But by the time you get 7 months, like girl, you
can't hide that.
No. So she finally tells her parents. And when she tells them, she also tells them that she wants to put the baby up for adoption.
Okay.
And her parents are not having it. They are like, no, they're like, we fucked up over you. We need to try it again. Outraged.
So it's adoption. It's not abortion.
Adoption.
Okay.
I mean, I am a little dyslexic, so I'm hoping I'm reading everything.
Well, I think I remember abortion, that she wanted abortion, but her dad wouldn't, or her mom wouldn't let her have it, an abortion. And so either way, it's same difference. She didn't want the baby and they made her.
Well, I mean, she's not killing the baby.
I mean, it's not, but I'm trying to say her motive is she didn't want the baby.
Yes.
It is a big difference.
She's like, it's the same difference. I'm like, actually, it's actually not.
Oh, Lordy, we're going to be censored now. It is a big difference, actually. But the point is, her motive is she didn't want to be a mama.
Oh, that's good. Take another drink. Just take a drink, because this is a whole lot. So they were like, no, you're not doing that. We'll help you take care of her, whatever. So August 9th, 2005, Casey Anthony gives birth to baby girl Caylee Marie Anthony. But the one thing is, Maury Povich, who is the father?
Who the pappy?
Who is the father? But Casey was like, oh, it's Jesse, my boyfriend. Like, he's obviously the father. Oh, but I mean, she's kind of, she doesn't have on her chastity belt. Oh. Chastity. So she wasn't a virgin. So this isn't a Virgin Mary type thing. No, it was not Immaculate Conception. Okay. No.
Just making sure.
I mean, it actually is still a mystery who the father is. I don't think they ever did find out. There are a lot of theories about who it could be, but her parents didn't really like press her on it. They were just like, oh, okay, well, who is it? You don't want to tell us? Okay, fine. Because they don't really care about, I don't think, much of anything. And so at one point, Casey tells her parents that the father was in a terrible car accident and died.
So that before the baby was born? Or when? Or just at one point? Okay.
And I mean, she first says it's Jesse, then she says it was a random guy in a car accident who died. I mean, she just spits lies.
Wow.
So she reminds me a lot of Amber Heard. Take a drink. Sorry, I can't stop. So, for some reason, the family thought
we gotta have a drinking game at the live show.
Oh, for sure. I love that idea. Think about it. She thought it was best. Excuse me. The family thought that it was a good idea to keep. So she has this older brother, and which the older brother lives with them, but they didn't tell the older brother. They didn't tell the brother that Casey was pregnant. Oh. Okay.
So nobody talks to anybody.
Apparently not.
In the whole house.
No. And they didn't tell him until the day. What is it? The day
she was born. They brought her home.
Until a couple of days before she gave birth. Yeah. And when they did tell him, he was real mad. He was angry. He was so mad he didn't even go up to the hospital when she had the baby.
And he was older, right?
Yeah, 4 years older. But he's pissed because I'm pretty sure like they were kind of close. And so he just was like, why would nobody tell me that you're like, once again, none of these people talk. So I don't know. This is just so strange. I don't know why you keep it a secret, but this caused a major like rift in the family. Not a shock. So then fast forward New Year's Eve, and Jesse, the boyfriend, maybe baby daddy, proposes to Casey.
In real life or in her mind?
Well, I think it's in real life. So she could be lying about it though. So we don't really know. But Jesse supposedly says that he wanted all of them to be a family, wanted them to just be together as a unit. So they got engaged and they were excited. But deep down, Casey just kind of really like, she kind of knew like he wasn't the father. And so, I mean, she's engaged and so she's happy. And, you know, at this point, you know, they have the baby and she's like, oh, I think I need a nanny. So that's when she gets this nanny named Zanny.
Zanny.
Yeah, Zanny the nanny.
Okay.
And this lady was named Zanita Fernandez Gonzalez.
Oh.
Yep, she has 3 names. But they call her Zanny.
Yeah.
And so Casey's parents ask her, they're like, how did you find this Zanny lady? Like, wow, Zanny. Like,
Craigslist?
Wow. Yeah. Craigslist? Like,
how do you have money to pay for a nanny with no high school?
I don't know. With your Universal Studios job? Like,
check.
I don't know. So Casey told them, that because the parents asked who's Zanny. Casey told them that it was an IT tech who worked over at Universal Studios named Jeff, who introduced her to his ex-girlfriend, Zanny, and he paid her to watch both his son and Caylee.
She's so good. That's like...
So they're like, so this guy is paying for her to watch your kids? Like, I don't even understand what I just said. And so if somebody told me that, I'd be like, wow, you really went deep. Like, you went.
The fact that she like went all like had a whole like story to get to.
I mean, Amber Heard vibes. So I feel like that this could maybe be a red flag. I don't know. So Cindy remembered, Cindy's the mom, Casey's mom.
Yeah.
Remembered Caylee talking about Zanny and her dog, but no one besides Casey had ever seen or met Zanny. So then, that's weird. And then they're trying to figure out who the father is, and they're trying to determine if it's Jesse. They get him. They have him do a lie detector test, or I read lie detector or DNA test.
Okay.
And it was overall determined that Jesse was not the father. And now this is devastating news to Jesse because he was like in her life and, you know.
Oh, they're about to get married.
Well, you know, he wanted it to work, but, you know, unfortunately in May 2006,
lucky you, Jesse.
Jesse broke off the engagement. He said that Casey's behavior was getting just very erratic and he was not about that life. And she was becoming a different person. So they broke up. And then a little bit of time goes on. And Casey, she is ready to start dating again. I mean, she cannot be alone.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's party time. Okay. Well, you're still young. So while she's out, she meets this guy named Tony. And guess what Tony does for a living?
He's a DJ.
He's an aspiring DJ.
Okay.
So,
she met him at the club.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is going somewhere.
Yeah.
Like this is you're about to, this is a great future.
Yeah.
So they're dating and Casey would bring Caylee over to his apartment that he shared with roommates. So there was a bunch of roommates there. And they would spend a lot of time there.
With Caylee with her.
Yep. So Casey was still living at home at this time, but with her parents. And the parents would help take care of Caylee. She had her own room. I mean, obviously they clothed her, they fed her, they tended to her like they were like that was their daughter, you know. Helped her out as much as she could.
They were trying to probably be better with her than they were with.
They probably needed to, So according to Casey, on June 15th, 2008, there was this like heated argument within the family, and the next morning Casey left with Caylee, and she left for a work trip to Tampa, Florida. She was like real mad, and she did not want to come back home. So she packed a bag and she said, "We're going to stay for a while," and she left.
Okay.
So
we don't know what the argument was.
I mean, no, I don't. Do you know what it was?
Probably a lie. Probably. Well, at one point she was like stealing checks, I think.
Oh,
was this like stealing from?
There was something coming up, I think, with. No, that's different. But this could be. I could have. It's a lot of stuff. So I could. But if that's possible, I that probably is right.
Yeah.
Because you did a lot of listening to the.
But it was a while back. But I feel like it was. They were fighting because she had. I don't know. I think she wrote some checks or stole some money or something. Yeah. From her parents.
She probably did. Well, so she had these bags like they were going to be gone for a while. And one thing we know for sure is that on June 16th, 2008, that was the last day that Caylee was seen alive.
Wow.
So what was really going on was she went over to her boyfriend's apartment, but when she got there, Caylee was not with her. So when she gets there, they're like, "Where's Caylee?" And she like has this excuse. She was either with a nanny or she was just somewhere else. Casey ended up staying over at her boyfriend's house for like a month. And every time her mom would call and be like, "Hey, can I talk to Caylee? Hey, like, what's Caylee doing? Hey, how is she? What's the deal?" She would be like, different excuse every time. Oh, Kaylee's sleeping, or she's with the nanny, or she's this, or she's that. Like, never for the whole month. I don't know. So the parents, Casey's parents, were like, kind of getting a little concerned at this point. It's been a month. Yes. And during this, like, whatever month vacation, she called it, I guess, this is back when MySpace was a big deal. So she's like posting all this stuff on MySpace, all these videos and pictures, and just partying, like,
of just her going out, just her.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she did participate in a sexy body contest at a local club.
She's bragging about it.
So she's really trying to like shoot her best shot and live her best life. Well, she was out every night. She'd go to the club where her boyfriend was the DJ. That's where she was all hanging out. And I mean, she like got a new tattoo. She's just kind of just doing everything. I don't know. But she's in her early 20s, so. But
she's young. This is stuff she should be doing.
Right.
But her kid.
But where's your kid?
Yeah, was in her way.
So Casey's parents had actually given her their car to use because, you know, she didn't have one because she doesn't. Does she have a job? Okay. Yeah. So that was nice of them to give her the car to like get around for a while, go to work, you know, do things. And then she like left because she's mad at them because she stole their money, I guess. So one day she drives down to a check cashing place. And she literally made it there like on empty. She's running out, like ran out of gas. So she gets there, runs out of gas. She cashes her check, and this is all the money she has. So then she realizes like, oh my gosh, getting the car towed, like I can't pay to get the car towed because that's my whole check. So she just like leaves the car where it is when it runs out of gas.
It did run out of gas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ran out of gas, and she's like, I'm just going to leave the car here in this random parking lot.
Bitch.
She's
shitty.
Yeah. So I guess that's her best option. A little bit of time passes. people who are working at that place, they realize they see this car and they're like, it's been here for quite a while. Let's figure out what's going on with it. So they call this tow truck place to get it removed, and the car's towed, goes to the impound, and that's when they call Casey's dad, George.
Yes.
And they call George, and they're like, hey, like, we have your car. It's like in the impound. Is it called the pound or the impound?
Impound.
Okay, we have your car in the pound, and
pound is where the dogs go.
And this is where it's at. And George is like, what? What's my car in the impound? I don't know what you're talking about. So he calls like Casey, and he's like, what is happening with the car? Why is it in the impound? He ends up going to pick it up, or goes to the impound, and he's like, pays for it, gets the money, gets the car out, and the person working at the pound takes him to the car. So the two of them are going out to the car, gives them the keys. George opens up the car door, and both of them get this whiff of a smell that overcomes their whole body. I have a weird smell in my car right now. And so I can relate, but it's not that bad, but I think there's something in my air conditioner. I thought there was something dead in there for a little bit.
Ooh, sometimes cats crawl up there and they die.
Listen, if there's a dead cat in my car, I'm leaving
Selling
my car
it.
here, and
Leave
I'm selling
it at the store like
I've already
Caylee
lost the
Anthony did.
keys. I might as well. I'm gonna ride
I'd
a
have
bicycle.
to give it away. If there was a dead cat, I would just have to give it away.
Somebody said it was probably something with I don't know what it is, but I'm about to die. Anyways, there was this pungent smell coming from the car, and they both, the car worker and George, said it smells like a dead body. What?
And
Now-
George is police.
He's a law enforcement.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't really personally know what a dead body smells like, but I do have a friend who is a like ER paramedic, like she's paramedic, and so she always knows what a dead body smells like, and it smells really bad.
and it's a distinct smell, like is what
Because when you die, I did watch this video on YouTube. It's an infographic video, and it was like, what happens to your body when you die? But like everything releases. Like that's why like you poop on yourself, you pee, like all of your stuff comes out. So that's why you smell so bad. It's like everything just like
all your insides come outside.
I think so. So I think it's inside outside life.
Plus,
And odor, and like if it's hot.
yes.
Okay, so it's obviously dead body smell. It's real bad. And
And he was probably oh no, but he had already called Caylee, Casey, right?
yes.
So he knows Casey's not dead.
Oh, right.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, so I don't know this. Basically, I think when you smell it, you just know.
Yeah.
Whatever. So George ends up taking the car home. He's real pissed, and he's like, gets home, and he's like, Cindy, smell the car. I don't know if he said it like that, but that's basically how I interpreted it. He was like, first of all, why is the car at the impound? Why do I have to pay all this stuff? What's happening? And why does it smell so bad? So he's like, come smell the car. So she comes out, she smells the car, and it's very intense odor. They then pop open the trunk, and they see a trash bag. And Cindy said that she did not open the trash bag. They just threw it away. I don't know. Was it heavy? I don't know.
Well, it was probably like a big trash bag. So I wouldn't dig through it. I would probably just assume,
I remember
this is the smell.
Yeah.
We need to throw it in the dumpster. So I see that.
Then she said she was that she loaded the car, like sprayed down the whole entire car with Febreze, and left all the car doors open to let it air out.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I feel like that still won't get the smell out, but whatever. So again, naturally, the parents are pissed at Casey. Why did she ditch the car? Why did she say anything? And how is she going anywhere? And where's Caylee? All these things. So actually, I don't think they did get a hold of her, because the mom then goes over to the house where she's been staying. And so the mom goes over there and knocks on the door, goes inside. This is her boyfriend's apartment where he lives with his friends. And they like take her. They're like, oh yeah, she's downstairs. Take her downstairs. On the way there, she sees like all this drug paraphernalia stuff, whatever. And it's like noon at this time. And they're just like all these people are just sitting around getting high. I'm like, okay, is Caylee here with all this stuff that's happening? And she finally sees her. She's like, where's Caylee? What are you doing? What's happening? And Casey was like, oh, Kaylee's with Zanny. And so she's like, okay, I can't take this anymore. Let's go pick her up. I don't know who Zanny is, but let's go get her. And Casey just keeps getting defensive and is like, why are you questioning me in front of all my friends? Like, why are you questioning me for my boyfriend? Blah, blah, blah. And she ends up just being like, you're going home with me, grabs her by the arm, takes her in the car and makes her go home.
Oh.
And Casey is like so irritated because her boyfriend and her boyfriend's friends saw all that and she's so embarrassed.
Her mom probably should have used that force a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, this is in front of her DJ boyfriend. I mean, could you imagine? Then they go back to the family home, and this is whenever they have their first call to 911. So Cindy calls 911 to report Casey for stealing her car and abandoning it. And she ends up calling 911 3 times.
Okay.
So the first time she calls, she's like, quote, I have someone here who I need to be arrested in my home, and I have a possible missing child. I have a 3-year-old who has been missing for a month. Okay. End of the quote. And so on the phone, she's like, Cindy says that Casey needs to be arrested. She stole the car. She stole the money. And she's like waiting for the police to show up. So she's like wandering around the house, just walking around the house, waiting for the police to show up. And she overhears Casey talking to her brother Lee. And Casey was telling Lee that she met Zanny, the nanny, at the park to give her Caylee. And when she arrived, Zanny held Caylee close, pushing Casey away, saying that she was taking Caylee away from her and would not be giving her back.
Oh.
So Casey is telling this to her brother. Mom overhears it, and this time she calls 911 again. And this time she tells them that there has been a kidnapping. She's demanding to speak to an officer, and she says...
Time has gone by, and the cops still never came, right?
Yeah. She calls him back. And she says that she just learned that Caylee was taken by her babysitter and she's been missing for a month. So on this call, she says, quote, I told you my daughter has been missing for a month and I just found her today and I can't find my granddaughter. There's something seriously wrong. I found my daughter's car today and it smells like there has been a dead body in the damn car, unquote.
Wow.
So while she's on the phone with 911, Sandy is trying to get Casey to talk on the phone and talk to the dispatch lady. And Casey was like, I don't want to talk on the phone. I don't want to talk. Just like that.
No concern.
No.
She's not worried.
No. She's probably still mad about DJ boyfriend. So she's like, Casey, get on the phone with this. And then Casey's like getting pissed. And finally, she's like not even worried at all, just like you said. And she's just really irritated and annoyed. She didn't understand why it was such a big deal that her mom was freaking out. Okay.
I can't. No. I can't.
Finally, she gives in and gets on the phone. And all she says is that she knows who her daughter is with, but the phone number to the nanny has been disconnected.
Oh.
How convenient. It's no longer in service.
Now you're saying this to people.
But earlier in the day, the nanny let her speak to Caylee.
Oh.
So Caylee was okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So she told the dispatcher that what I call her name? What was her name? Zenita Fernandez Gonzalez was the name of the nanny who had Caylee. So Casey said that she had spoke to Zanny the nanny on there's a lot of names that I'm getting on July 9th on the phone, and then again on July 15th whenever she had allowed her to talk to Caylee. And Casey told her brother Lee that she had been communicating with Zanny through MySpace and was getting instructions from Zanny on how to get Caylee back. And Casey said that Zanny told her she would get her daughter back on Caylee's birthday.
What?
I don't even know. So to Cindy, it just sounds like this is the dumbest story I've ever heard.
Yes.
And she's like, why are you not more concerned about your daughter? Police finally get there, and they finally ask Casey to take them to the last place that she saw Zanny the nanny. And it was this Charaka's apartments.
Oh.
Where they identified that's where it was Zanny's apartment.
Oh, that's another place you could have traveled to when you were in Orlando.
Oh, yeah. I think and maybe it's closed down. So Casey said that that was where she dropped off her daughter, and the last time and place that she had, that's the last time and place that Casey had provided the officers with as where, this is where she was. And then she gave them a description of Zanny, saying that she was 25 years old. She was 5'7", 140 pounds. She had black hair, perfect teeth, from New York, and that she was a 10.
A 10? So she's a hot nanny.
I was like, I feel like it's a real weird thing to mention. I think it's time for a break.
And now a word from our sponsors.
RogueCon 23. That's right. It is here. It's not back. It's here. It's the first one. Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It is all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues, January 20th through the 22nd of 2023. Now, if you want to go, you got to get tickets, and tickets are on sale at RogueCon23.com. That's RogueCon, RogueCon 23.com. Be there. I'm going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't right, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.
911, what's your emergency?
Do you hear that? It's coming from the house.
It's coming from inside the house? Do you mean? Could it be?
The Poltergeist. New from Rogue Media. Two haunted hotties talking about haunted places. Every episode we dive deep into the darkest places and give you a bit of history.
We're getting spooky in all the right places.
You've gobbled your last ghoul.
Follow along for the craziest and spookiest stories with Debbie's Dark Tourism. The Stanley Hotel,
Winchester House,
The Alamo,
Hotel Monte Vista,
and more spooky places. Find us at _Poltergals. POLTERGALS.
Look over your shoulder. It's us,
The Poltergals. Wherever you consume the podcast, you can find us there.
Hi, this is Sarah.
And I'm Carter.
And this is Some of Our Thoughts.
We're two Southern sommeliers, and we want to share everything we love and know about wine. We started hanging out during quarantine and cooking and drinking and listening to music. And we just thought this would be a great way to bring everything we know to you guys.
We will make wine knowledge and food pairings easy and approachable. So put on your favorite vinyl, grab your favorite glass of wine, tune into our show, and let's have some fun.
Wine and vinyl. So check us out on roguemedianetwork.com or wherever you get your favorite podcast. We'll be talking about a lot.
Welcome to One Star Rewind, a new podcast about those dreaded one-star reviews that every business owner hates to receive, but yet every customer loves to read. During this podcast, we will peel back that one-star review to better understand how it happened, when it happened, and what the business owner is doing after receiving that one-star review. This podcast will be about love, hate, and laughter. On One Star Rewind, we will meet with real business owners who will tell their stories and how they do rely on reviews for their business. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or download us at roguemedianetwork.com. Please subscribe, but only rate and review for not a one-star review. Join us each time for a new review and a new story.
So, Zanny the nanny, where does she live? She's in this apartment.
Yeah.
She's a 10.
She's a 10.
She's a 10.
And she stole her kid, even though she's Chicana and Latina and probably has 7 of her own.
Oh, yeah.
So why is she going to take somebody else's kid?
Casey tells him that Zanny the nanny was born in New York, and in September she moved to Florida, and she was mixed, and she was black and Puerto Rican.
Oh.
Clearly.
So she showed on nobody else's kid, especially a little white girl she don't know.
Yeah. So police go up to the apartment, and they're like, okay, this one is where Zanny lived. They knock on the door. Nobody answers. They're peeking inside. They're trying to look like through the window, and it's like, doesn't look like anybody lives there. And so they go down and they ask like the office if they can have a record of who lives there. And they tell police like nobody's lived in that apartment since March.
So how does she know that?
How does she know that?
Casey. How does she know to tell them to go to that apartment?
I mean, I guess she just made it all up. I don't know.
And just like
I don't know.
Happened upon an empty apartment.
So they go and they pull surveillance video from the parking lot from where Casey dropped Caylee off. And they asked for surveillance video, but it doesn't show anyone like coming and going. Like they never saw this woman that Casey described ever. So they're like, no one was there. We would have caught this on tape, or at least we would have seen Caylee, but no, they don't. And they're like, please, like, we're looking for, like, please, like, let us know if you like look for more and see if you can like find anything. And the more that they start looking into her story, the more they're like, I don't like, this doesn't sound right. Something's not adding up. And then like she starts telling kind of them her, like Casey's like, okay, well, I work here and blah, blah, like kind of just telling them the story. So she says she works at Universal Studios. They did more digging, and then they actually discovered that Casey didn't work.
Oh.
She did work, but not at the time. Like she was saying she currently was employed there, but she really wasn't currently employed there. And so what she's doing all this time is like police are doing this undercover work, and they're not telling her all the stuff that they know. So they're kind of like baiting. They're trying to get her to obviously tell them something. So trying to put her on blast. So Casey actually takes them. She's like, oh, I work at Universal Studios. Like, let me take you here and I'll show you, like, I work here and here's, I don't know why she's trying to introduce them to the people that she works with. I guess she's trying to back up her story somehow. Yeah. Well, she goes in, she's walking in like all confident and she's like, oh, I'm going to take the police to my boss and blah, blah, blah. Well, she gets in there and like starts saying, like, they go up to stairs, and she turns around to the police officers and she's like, actually, I don't work here.
She does. She works so hard for a lie and it's never even a good lie. She works real hard for it though.
She's just acting like she worked there. She walked in like past security, goes through the employee entrance, like goes through this maze of offices. Like she went and like took them in circles.
They just followed her.
And yeah, they did. And finally, when she finally admitted it, she was just like, no. And so they finally catch her in this lie. And then they're like, we've caught you in this lie. There's no Zanny. Where's your child? Like, no. So then Casey is arrested on July 16th.
So a month late, because the last time she was seen was June 16th. So this is about a month later since the last time Caylee was.
She was charged with neglect of a child, obstruction of justice, and making false statements to police. So Cindy.
Good.
Yeah. Should we stop there? Arrested?
Yeah. Good. Okay, so does this mean what? Is this going to mean it's going to be a part 2? Okay, so she's in jail. And we'll pick up there next week.
Yep.
Y'all got a part 2. So sorry. Or you're welcome. Do not listen to any podcast.
This is what we need you to do. We had only a review from March and we had a recent review from May. And I'm sorry, but it's almost June. So I am yelling at you. And if there was 50 people who signed up for the live show right away on the first day and we only have like probably 50 reviews, I'm gonna need the rest of you people to go make a review. I'm just saying.
Let's read this last our most
don't make me
recent
get
review.
Crunk. I won't tell you any stories about any more of my dates unless you review.
Here we go. This is called Bloody Funny from, she put her whole name, Sarah Sulak. Shulak. Love these girls. They tell stories so well and add some reality and laughter into the stories they share. Every time I've listened, I've laughed out loud and lived the story they picked. Y'all keep it up. You're awesome. Love ya. Thank you, Sarah.
We love that.
Go on right now and rate and review. Do that.
Apple Podcasts. That's where you do it. If you don't know how, crawl out from underneath your rock, and it's really easy.
Yeah. And I am actually figuring out my story. So if you have a good guilty or innocent story, send me an email and I will look it up because I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. So I think that's it.
What a good one.
Tune in next week for the rest of Caylee. My mind is already saying guilty because she's...
Casey.
What'd I say?
Caylee.
You messed me up.
I'm telling you, I had to really focus and like read my notes because their sounds so similar.
Yeah. She's already guilty in my book, but I will listen to the rest of the evidence and see.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. I'm always told that I'm not aware at all.
You actually are not aware at all.
But I'm telling everybody else to be aware, so you're welcome.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It's all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues on January 20th through the 22nd, 2023. Tickets are on sale now at roguecon23.com.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't rap, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.